I'm Norbert Peeters, I'm a botanical philosopher and a writer, and today I'm taking you to a very special location, the special collections of the University of Amsterdam Artist Library, located next to Arte Zoo in the city center of Amsterdam. We're going to look at a very special first edition of the D'Amboinsche Curiosity Cabinet, written by Georg Everhard Rumphius. When he was 18 years old, Georg Everhard Rumphius left his parental house in Germany out of love of science. He wanted to follow in the footsteps of his great example, Pliny the Elder. Pliny was the Roman fleet commander, but in his spare time he found time to study the natural world. Rumphius traveled to Ambon in the Moluccas and had this same idea. He wanted to study the flora, the fauna, the history and the geography of these islands. By the end of his life, he got the honorary title Pliny of the Indies. Rumphius wanted to study the entire natural world of the Moluccas and the island of Ambon, but he never finished his task. He wrote a book on the flora of the island, he wrote a book on geography, on the history of the island, but he never finished his book on animal life. Many disasters struck his life. There was a huge earthquake in which he lost his wife and 2 daughters, and later on he went blind and had to finish the work with the help of others. Here we see the title page of the D'Amboinsche Curiosity Cabinet, and we immediately see a couple of curiosity cabinets, like one that Rumphius might have owned. We also see 2 pillars, one with Mother Earth and one with the god of the sea, Neptune. This symbolizes that this curiosity cabinet holds not only life from the sea, shells, lobsters, crabs, but also curious objects from the earth, minerals, crystals, etc. Here we see descriptions and plates from life in the intertidal zone of Ambon and the Moluccan Islands, such as the coconut crab. But we also find many other crabs and crustaceans depicted in the D'Amboinsche Curiosity Cabinet. Here we see, for instance, the nautilus and also the paper nautilus, and all different types of shells collected by Rumphius and local informants and local fishermen. But this book does not only contain life from the intertidal zone, we also find many curiosities taken from the earth, such as minerals, crystals, and even some fossils and cultural objects. For instance, here we see stone and metal axes, archaeological objects that Rumphius did not know were archaeological objects. He thought that these were formed in clouds by gases and thunder and struck down to earth by lightning. So lightning would hit the earth and leave one of these objects. But of course, nowadays we know these are actually archaeological objects from the prehistoric people that lived on Ambon Island. We also find very curious stones, seeming to depict vegetation, but of course these are mineral growths on these stones. But not for Rumphius. Rumphius saw amazing figures in these stones, landscapes, but also stones that seem to indicate fortifications, and even a little praying monk. Rumphius even speculated on the origin of these fossil shells that he found in the mountains of Ambon. He called them Noah's shells, after Noah from the Bible and the biblical floods. He thought the biblical floods left these shells high up in the mountains of Ambon. From these pages you can see that Rumphius clearly fell in love with the nature of Ambon and Indonesia. I hope you enjoy reading his descriptions and looking at these wonderful images. And next year there will appear a translation of my own book on Rumphius's other great work of natural history, the Ambonese Herbal, the first extensive study of the flora of Ambon, the Moluccas, and Indonesia at large, by publisher Komunitas Bambu.